A very good morning to all our Sports Today family members. We are just building up to the fourth T20I between India and Zimbabwe, but it's already going to be a very action packed weekend. The Euro final is coming along with the Copa final. You also have the women's singles final today between Paulina and Krejcikova, and you also have the men's singles final in Wimbledon. It's finally been done. Djokovic versus Alcaraz part 2 in Wimbledon. Last time they produced a classic. This time will they be able to repeat it? It remains to be seen. But before I come to the major sporting news, there's one major update from the ICC in which two ICC officials who are closely involved in organizing the T20 World Cup have resigned. The ICC head of event and the general manager of marketing and communications have announced their departure from the organization. This has got to do with the way how the T20 World Cup was held in the USA, because there was a lot of criticism over the way the New York wicket was done. There was no runs. The wicket was a paradise for the bowlers, and generally the action that you got to see in New York and the way the stadium was organized, that was the prime reason why this step has been taken. So basically it is at this point in time, the fallout from the T20 World Cup, the way how it was organized, that has begun at this point. So two ICC officials have resigned in the aftermath of what has happened in the T20 World Cup. New York drew a lot of criticism. Dallas was the only wicket which was good. The West Indies, if you look at it, all the other wickets that were there, they were all right. Towards the Super 8 stage, it became better as it progressed. So that is the thing that is there. The World Cup in the US and particularly New York was a major project at the ICC, and these two officials were involved in it. So that is why the low scoring affairs due to the up and down nature has really contributed to this entire fiasco. So that is the situation we have as far as the ICC is concerned. The churn has begun. Now, in the world of other cricketing news, if you look at it, it is going to be an India versus Pakistan final in the World Championship of Legends, because yesterday Yuvraj Singh along with the Pathan brothers, everybody put on a brilliant show to put Australia out of the tournament. They had notched up a total in excess of 250 and India won by 86 runs. Pakistan on the other hand dumped the West Indies champions out, and that is why it is India versus Pakistan, the World Championship of Legends tournament. Let's see how that happens. That's also going to happen today at 9 p.m. On the other hand, when you look at all the other sporting events, Djokovic versus Alcaraz. Alcaraz yesterday put on a great show against Daniil Medvedev, winning in 4 sets. And then you also saw Djokovic put on a clinical performance against Lorenzo Musetti, winning in 3 sets. Djokovic versus Alcaraz last year was an absolute classic. This time, it promises to be the same. Djokovic, if he wins Wimbledon, it will be Grand Slam number 25, which is the most that any player in the history of the sport has managed. On top of that, when you look at it, it is going to be a great show in the women's singles final also, because it's Paulina versus Krejcikova. Krejcikova, you remember, she's also had a very good run. Paulina, on the other hand, she's also done well. So it is going to be very interesting as to how these two matches shape up. Now, forget tennis, you're also going to see a lot of action in the Euro tournament, because England versus Spain, the build-up is already huge at this point in time in England. Remember, England have not won a major international tournament for the last 56 years, and that is why this is going to be 58 years rather. So will they end the jinx this time around? Is the Euro coming back home to England after the disappointments of 2021? Let's wait and watch. But Spain have been playing really good football. England, on the other hand, they have been rather conservative. They are marched to the final, helped by a better draw. So that's why it's going to be very important. But on the other side of the continent, if you look at it, it is in the Copa, Los Cafeteros versus La Albiceleste. It is Colombia versus Argentina. Argentina, they have won the Euro, they won the Copa, they have won the World Cup, and now they're on the cusp of winning the back-to-back Copa titles. On the other hand, Colombia have been undefeated for 28 international games, and that is truly remarkable when you look at it. So the last loss that happened came against Argentina in February 2022. So will they avenge that? Will Colombia win a Copa title after 23 years? Or will La Albiceleste win a record 16th Copa title? That is the current situation we have. So in the world of football, on Monday night in India, if you look at it, it is going to be really, really interesting. Now, as far as the other, I'll come to the queries later. The last sporting news that we have for you is that in the world of chess, Gukesh has managed to pull off some wins, but then he yet again slipped up, and now you have three American chess grandmasters dominating the Superbet Croatia tournament. So that's why it's going to be very, very interesting as how this tournament pans out. There's also the Blitz event that's going to happen. So that is the latest from the world of sport that we've got for you. And then Mayank Madan is saying Alcaraz will beat Djokovic in the finals. Euros, Copa, Wimbledon, Super Sunday loading, along with India versus Zimbabwe, the 50 T20I also. It is Super Sunday starting from 4 in the afternoon all the way until morning 8 a.m. The next day, because Copa final will begin at 5:30. That's the reason. So it is going to be very interesting. When will the India squad for Sri Lanka be? Shashank Kadam with the same question over and over again. Well, they will announce it mostly by next week. After the end of the Zimbabwe tour, probably at that time they are going to host it. So that's why they'll announce the squad at that time, both the T20I and the ODIs. Let's see how it goes. So there will be a meeting after the team, after maybe VVS Lakshman comes back from Zimbabwe. Maybe Gautam Gambhir and the selectors will have a meeting, virtual meeting, and they'll decide the squad at that point in time. So that is the current situation looking at it. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this morning wrap. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. Don't forget we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.